Hey, we're live. Oh, man, I gotta quit owning with We Are Live. I could restart. I'm not restarting. Fuck it. We are on the air in this sick studio. Another episode of Address This Mess. We've got Mike Stang here, as always.
And special guest, Jamie Kennedy.
Hey,
James
Kennedy.
I've been getting that so much lately. Jamie Kennedy, yeah. I'm like, I know it's.
Is he back in the news?
I don't know, but
Any way, shape, or form?
I've got it like more in the last like month than I have my entire comedy career. It's weird. Like I don't know why. Yeah.
Probably should have had a different stage name, but
No way.
yeah.
They can do it later. Get Stinger do it.
Show.
Quick, see if you can do it as fast as I scroll.
On it as a online supplement store. Go there, get stuff that helps you perform at your best. Onit.com. Amazon online superstore. They control everything. That Steve Bezos, whoever the owner is, runs the whole
richest man in
goddamn
the
world.
world.
So don't step out of line. Don't talk shit about Amazon. And their sister company, daughter company, some other company they made, Audible.com, gives you audiobooks on MP3 devices. You can listen to them in your vehicle. You get one free download if you go to audible.com / what? Do you know backslash?
Yeah, it's backslash audibletrial.com /ATM.
Boom. One free audiobook. See if you want to listen to it. Put your
And
iPod
1 free
on,
month subscription.
put it in your melon holes, and just have a listen.
I just did it. I just listened. I just got Audible, and I just did the free book. I did.
What do you get?
Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was always wanted to read that book, but then I also like Malcolm Gladwell's.
Yeah,
podcast.
that's Homeboy with
Does
the
he-
10,000 hours rule.
That's the
Yeah.
book. That's the book. Yeah.
Does he read it
Yeah.
for you? Yeah, that's way better. I did Bert Kreischer's book.
Sometimes
Oh,
it's
really?
better.
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer's book.
Yeah, he's got one. It's called Life of the Party.
I love.
I heard it like
It's kind of just a memoir about being a
Dude.
party animal in college.
no, it's so good. I listened to it like 2 years ago, probably about when it came out. It I think that's what kind of took him off into comedy. Because after he did that book, like in that book is where he did that Russian machine, like the machine. You've seen that all over- Yeah, that is. I think the first time he did that was on that book, and then I think someone probably convinced him, like, "Hey, man, you should start working this into stand up."
That story, but he's been doing stand up for a long time.
Yeah.
I worked with him a couple of months ago.
Oh yeah, I think I
Yeah.
saw that, man.
I got to open for him for
Dude,
like 5
in
shows.
Calgary or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He was rad.
I remember that. I was so
How does he get
fucking
into taking
envious.
his shirt off? Just immediately?
He just
shirts
immediately,
off?
Yeah, takes his shirt off.
As
Right
soon
away.
as
Does he ever
goes
go
on
up there
stage.
with no shirt? So always up there with his shirt, takes his shirt off.
Goes up with his shirt on, then takes his shirt off. He gets on stage. How's everybody doing? And just takes his shirt off.
Simple as that.
He's like one of like the best people I've ever like worked with. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was as good a guy as you could get. He like
Did you shoot the shit with him after and all?
Oh yeah, totally. I drank with him every night. We went out and partied like every night and drank.
That's awesome, man. He's on like a Sober October right now, right?
Yeah,
How do you get hooked up with that gig?
just through Yucks. That's
Yeah.
what I work for, and then that club loves me. They're my favorite club.
The Calgary one?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just there 3 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah, he was good as shit, man.
Yeah. Man, that
He,
was super cool.
He even talked about me on his podcast, and it was like such a highlight for me because I'm like listening to his podcast. He's like, I was in Calgary working with this guy, James Kennedy, really funny guy.
Yeah.
And because he was talking to Mark Norman. It was funny because I was talking to him about comedy, and then I said something to him, and in my head I'm like, did you just try to explain how fucking comedy works to me? and then you talked about on the podcast. He's like, he said something really insightful to me, and he said what I said, and I was like walking home going, I can't believe you just fucking said that to one of your comedy heroes.
Yeah.
You just tried to like explain to him. He's like, I can't figure out why they applauded at the end of that bit. I was like, they applaud because when you say that last line, it's just very clear that that's the end of the story.
Right.
It just really feels finished. And he was like, oh yeah, you're right. And in my head, I'm like, he's just in the head going, oh yeah, thanks, fucking.
Thanks, James.
Yeah. And then he actually talked about it. I was like, oh shit, I was walking home and like, oh, well, he's not even gonna want to talk to you tomorrow.
We high?
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I smoke weed, I do that all
A
the
little
time.
neurotic.
Yeah.
I'll smoke some weed, then I just think about, like, did it last night, then I just thought about something I said, even probably on, like, online video games to one of these guys while we're gaming. I'm like, oh, man, they all think you're such an idiot.
Yeah. I was just so inside my head about it. The next night, he's like, hey, what's going on, buddy?
I think everybody does that, right? Like,
To a degree, it's kind of healthy to keep yourself in check in that way, but you
Yeah.
can get a little over neurotic
Yeah.
to the point where you're just canceling out anything.
well, to the point where you send a text message and they don't reply in 5 minutes, and you're going, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. Right?
Yeah,
But
you
it's
can
like,
make up some weird terrors in your head and have anxiety about things that aren't really
not there.
Meant to be that anxious about
I saw that on, I don't think it was either The Onion or Clickhole or whatever. And they just do those dumb, like, satire things.
Yeah.
And it said, it's like, amazing. Man seems to freak out and worry about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting on a park bench, and all of a sudden he's like, just rubbing his head. Fuck.
Yeah, those ones you gotta scream out of your head. Ah!
One thing that shows with Bert is that there was a restaurant down the street from the club, and they got, I won't say the name because of the story, but we were getting, I get to go there after and get to drink for free pretty much because I was with him.
Right.
And then Tito's Vodka sent him a snowboard.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a Tito's Vodka, because that's his vodka that he always drinks. They sent a snowboard
Really?
to this bar for him. And then the guy who owned the place was like, "Hey man, Tito's sent a free snowboard for you." And he's like, "Cool." And and the guy goes, "Can I have it?" And he was just like, he's like, "Well, because you're gonna fly home, you don't want the snow." And he was just like, "Yeah, I guess, yeah, sure." And then he came back and he's just like, "Yeah, I would have fucking given it to you or given it to like somebody." Yeah. I just met this guy and he just kind of like put me on the spot right away. Like, "Hey, they sent us free snowboard here. Can I have it?"
Yeah. What
I
is
was
that
like,
fucker?
"I want a free snowboard."
Especially one that has some association with Bert to it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, man. They get to work with some pretty cool people, hey? Like, I saw Michelle Shaughnessy was working with, what's his name? Fighter and the Kid.
Brian Callen?
Callen, yeah.
I worked with him at the Calgary Club too.
Did you?
Yeah.
They go up to Calgary a lot, all those guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he wasn't as fun as Bert.
No.
He kind of just, I do half an hour, he does an hour, and he would come in 5 minutes before he had to go on stage. So I don't think he watched me tell a single joke.
Right.
And then and meanwhile Bert would like sit there and watch my set, and then
comment about it and bullshit with
and
you.
then he like pump me up, be like, "This guy, James Kennedy, he's headlining here next week. You guys gotta come watch him headline because he's fucking great." And I was just like, "Thank you, man." Like people actually came back because Bert said that too.
Yeah. And he treats you like a person, an equal, I guess.
Yeah, like even just getting like crazy stories from him, and just like him be like, "Hey, watch this! I'm gonna call Ari," and he just like call Ari on like speakerphone. I'd be sitting there in the room, just sitting here listening to him call Joe Rogan and shit. It's like I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet while you talk to Joe Rogan on speakerphone.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. Oh yeah, I follow all those guys. They're doing like a sober October right now, right?
Yeah. That's a good pun, good play on words.
Who are they really?
Good choice.
Who are they fucking with right now? Ari? I think they said Ari's having the hardest time.
Yeah.
Because he's in New York or something by himself. So they got like Bert, Rogan, and what's his name?
Tom Segura.
Segura, yeah. That's funny.
My buddy John does sober squat-tober. And that's every time you want to have a drink, you have to do 10 squats. And if you have a drink, you have to do 10 squats for every drink with somebody on your back.
Oh no!
So like you have to piggyback someone and do 10 squats.
Yeah.
I mean, like just because he lives in Whistler and they all do it, so kind of as a way to get warmed up for the season.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. You're just at the bar and there's just like six
dudes squatting each other.
6 dudes, like 4 chicks, all doing squats at the bar.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's that? He's like, "It's sober squat-tober. Season's gonna start."
Oh, Whistler's a cool town, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you could jam all those up in the morning and be like, I got like 200 squats out of the way.
Let's
get fucked up.
Yeah.
Have you ever performed in Whistler?
Oh yeah.
Where do you do it there?
The Crystal Lounge. They have a weekly show.
Oh, really?
John, same guy I was talking about, John. He runs that show.
That's cool.
Yeah. I always have a good time there.
Mm-hmm.
That crowd can either eat people alive and it's like, pretty much if you just go in there and you're fucking snobby city folk kind of guy, they won't like you.
Yeah.
So I just go in there wearing like a skateboard shirt.
You don't look the part.
I also go snowboarding while I'm there, so I can be like, "Man, it was fucking bluebird at the top of the mountain today," and like, "Oh, fucking this guy gets it." You know?
Yeah. A little pandering in there.
Yeah. And they all just like party, so.
Did you see that Eminem freestyle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna get you going on.
Was that any good? And B, can we talk about what a freestyle is, or if there's any unwritten rules around?
Okay, so what that was, they called it a freestyle. Yeah, okay, well, where do you want to start?
Is it because it's a cappella?
Well, that's the way battle rap's done nowadays.
Right.
When people battle in like battle leagues and stuff, those guys, some of the guys standing behind them. Well, that was his record label that was standing behind him. It was all the artists on his label, but some of those guys are battle rappers, and it's like it'll be two guys, you know who you're going against, and you get 3 rounds, and you do it like that because the way you do it before, when it would be over a beat, you don't hear half the lyrics.
Right.
So now it's done in a way where it's like you say like 2 lines kind of thing. It's just like people are just you're a fan of the writing, so it's like the rhyme schemes and how multisyllabic it is and how clever and stuff. So I loved that. I think it would have been better if they kept the audience reaction in, so then it wouldn't have just felt like dead air between all those things. But that one thing because to me it's just the writing. That one thing where where does he go? He's like when he goes
Fantastic Four?
No, that line was whatever. I like from his endorsement of band and support for the Klansmen, tiki torches in hand for a soldier. What does he say? Yeah, tiki torches in hand for a soldier that comes home from a tour in Iraq just to be told to go back to Africa. Like that writing is just insane. I've never heard anybody like Eminem writes some of the fucking best lyrics. Like it's, It was the difference of someone going, "My name is James and I'm here to say," and someone being like,
"Oh man, I forgot. I was gonna get you to beatbox our intro. We could have had an intro and had him beatbox."
But that line is so good that how premeditated is it?
Well, that was written.
Right.
That's how rap battles are done now.
Okay.
I don't know why they call it a freestyle because it's
Do they still do freestyle?
they've been doing the cipher on the BET Awards forever.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the first time Eminem has done it. Those are all written. They literally never will you see somebody actually just making up rhymes off the top of their head.
Well, I think even when you do, it's kind of like recycled lyrics, right?
Yeah, well,
because even like I notice that with comedy a lot, like people are like, "Oh, improv stuff," but when you've done enough comedy, you almost have something for.
Yeah, but you can tell when somebody's actually going off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
The term freestyle originally was just a rap about nothing.
Right.
It was just like you just go and rap and it's not about anything.
Do you think that like,
and then
do you know Big L?
Yeah.
Do you think his like that '94 freestyle?
No, that's written.
You think that's written?
No,
Yeah,
I know that's written.
Okay.
There's no way. Nobody makes that shit up off the top of their head.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the full thing, it's him and Jay-Z going back and forth. And if you hear the first Big L one, it's lyrics off of a song, and Jay-Z does a bunch of lyrics, verses off. Yeah. Yeah, you got it on the screen here.
Yeah.
I love you running with boys, I'm running with men. I'm ripping the microphone till the
And
have
the niggas like, "Damn, it's thinking I've done it again."
throw slugs and did the yachts. No love for city cops.
What are we?
Yeah, there he goes. From his endorsement of band and support for the Klansmen, tiki torches in hand for the soldier that's black and comes home from Iraq and is told to go back to Africa. Fork and dagger raises 94-year-old grandpa. Yeah, those like just such a well-written.
The one that I liked was about the NFL. Where's that?
This is
Right
for
here.
Colin?
No, right here.
But this is his form of distraction. Plus, he gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we can focus on that. And instead of talking Puerto Rico with gun reform for Nevada, all these horrible tragedies, any board would rather cause a Twitter storm with the Packers. Like, if any other rapper said those lyrics on a song, people would be like, verse of the year. Like, if Killer Mike did a Run the Jewels song, and those were the lyrics in his verse, people would be like, this is the craziest verse ever written. But because it's Eminem, I feel like a lot
Par for the course.
Well,
yeah, and then a lot of people just be like, ooh.
Do you think like M should go down as the greatest rapper alive, right? Or like ever?
No, I don't think. I think Jay-Z is the greatest rapper.
You think
of all time.
so?
Yeah.
Oh no.
How much of it goes into what you did for the game?
I think also that's also, man, you can say maybe Eminem's the greatest lyricist of all time. He rewrite great lyrics, but he has a horrible ear for beats. His choruses are god awful. His use of his voice sucks. Like, I mean, Eminem's just an amazing lyricist, but fucking he's never wrote like a chorus where you're like, oh damn, that's a fucking
like dope. A sweet hook.
Yeah. It's just always like, I'm a criminal.
You goddamn right.
I guess the best one he ever did, like, the one that was like, I don't know why the world keeps turning round and round. Well, I wish it would stop and let me off right now. Off his first album. That's actually like kind of like a hooky hook, but other than that,
right,
it's not. Yeah, I think Jay-Z's got fucking 12 albums, all of them classics. Eminem's got 6 albums, 2 of them maybe classics. The rest fucking stinking.
Where does
albums.
Nas stack up in that then? If I'm only thinking about lyrics, I'm not thinking about the rest of that.
Just for lyricism,
I'm not. But even with the other stuff, where does Nas come?
Yeah, I mean, he's up there, but this just my personal opinion. I just think Jay-Z's
Because of the whole package thing? Like,
because of everything.
Right.
He's got like so many classic albums. He's never dated himself. Nas has sounded like 1994 for his entire career pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
Jay-Z held his own on a song with Biggie, and then he can hold his own on a song with Kendrick Lamar. Like he's done all that. He's held his own with Pusha T, and he's also rapped with, fucking Big Pun. And he's throughout that whole thing though. And
Not a player, I just crush a lot.
Big Pun's one of the greatest rappers ever too. And but like, he was there with DMX. Eminem didn't murder him on his own shit. He held his own on that, but the song he did with Eminem,
Renegade, is a great song.
Yeah, and Jay-Z's just as good as Eminem on that song. And I still think Jay-Z technically won the battle with Nas because his diss track just said facts. It was just like truth, and then Nas's was just like, you're gay and you suck dick. You
probably lost a lot of firepower now, right? Like calling a guy a faggot is just like offside now, right?
Yeah.
You're like, hey.
It's really weird the way the world's evolving so quickly on issues. Like the one I always talk about, like there's giant ones, like civil rights comes in and then racism, like it obviously doesn't go away, but just comes a long way. But I thought in our lifetime it's been littering. Littering is just something you can't do anymore.
Yeah.
Inside your own body, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think when we were young, in the early 90s, you could just throw shit out your moving car window.
Yeah. And now it's like I physically can't do it. Like it's like,
it's a good sign of progress, I suppose.
I think that is right now though. It's women's time.
Yeah,
like women are just. It's like a crazy how fast it's.
Well, you stand to gain so much by empowering half of your population.
Yeah,
like that.
But now
it's
just
so good for everything.
There's so many guys right now that are just fucking shitting their pants because they're just watching like, oh, you know what, you're not gonna get away with this shit anymore, and they're finding out that if one of them speaks up, the rest of them are gonna be like, you know what, fuck it, I can just talk now too.
Definitely that grubby sexual harassment.
That
shit.
Me Too thing that just came out.
Yeah.
That's gotta stop. Like that's a tickety boo, but just
the Just for Laughs, the guy who founded Just for Laughs,
he just resigned.
Yeah,
that's weird. I wonder how many guys. Is this thing even on?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah, say something. No, but what I did, what I realized is I had mine and yours gain like really low. Hopefully, people heard us. Oh. The first 15 minutes, there might not be our voices. Might just be you talking to yourself.
Oh boy, nobody wants that again.
Whatever. Fuck them.
Put away twice for that.
I'm just kidding. We love you guys. Please keep watching.
Yeah, women's rights is definitely in the West. It was said to be there for a long time, but I don't think that wage gap stuff and all that is I don't think the wage gap's a real thing. Like that stat.
Yeah,
it's kind of disingenuous. Not kind of. It's completely disingenuous.
It's just in certain. I think because I've always tried to understand what they mean by that. But
they showed it now, right? Like that came out a while ago where they said it's for different jobs.
Yeah. Well, there's so many different factors that go into a stat.
Women just work lower paying jobs. Like if a man and a woman were doing the same job, they make the same.
Yeah.
But they said what it is that they show. Like women earn typically 75 or 74% of what men earn or something, but it's not like the way that they word that stat makes it sound like if they were working side by side, you were getting
79 cents on the dollar came out of Obama's mouth.
Yeah,
and that's how disinformation can kind of move all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only true if you take all the money that men made and all the money that women made and you just compare it.
Yeah.
But the factors that go into making all that money, just aren't considered at all. So you can't really just go ahead with something like that.
Yeah, and then you try to hold on, but it's also like I'm way more aware of it now. I watch when just being out with my girlfriend, just when we were traveling Indonesia. It didn't matter from here to there. I don't fucking plan. I'm not. I'm the fun guy, and I'll pack all the bags, but she books the hotel, she does everything, and whether it's the cab, and they always look to me. Yeah. Whatever it is, the cab driver, where are you guys going? And she'll be like, we're going to the airport. And where? And he'll look at me. It's like, well, she's talking. I don't fucking do any of this stuff. We're checking in the hotel. All right, sir, can I check you in? I'm like, no, she checks me in. It's everywhere you go, everyone just assumes. Yeah, the man. If I'm out for dinner, they just assume that I'm the one that's supposed to speak on her behalf, and. No, she speaks for me. I don't fucking...
Yeah.
even if we go out for sushi, I'm like, you order.
I've always thought powerful women were hot. I don't understand like where people get super afraid of them.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty.
Yeah, well, the thing
cool
about
to see a chick take
the thing
charge.
about a powerful woman that could be intimidating though, or like off-putting, is when it's too like over the top. Like what bothered me, I really am a big Lady Gaga fan, and I watched her new documentary. And at the start of it, she goes, "Well, you know, as a woman," and when she said that, I was like, to me that all just drives a stake further down the middle when you're trying to get like this equality thing.
Right.
Because for me, I would never open a sentence saying like, as a man, I just say as a person. Like, here's what I think. I don't really care what gender I am or what gender
what did
you
she
are.
say after that? Did she say, as a woman, I've faced these kinds of struggles in the business, and this is why my plight is different? Or was it
No, I think she said
as a woman, this is how I identify and fuck everybody else?
she was talking about a breakup or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, 'cause I mean,
That sounds about as fucking deep as she gets.
I've definitely been more like conscious of like, well, I'm a fucking. It's annoying to hear white straight man all the time, and but then it's like it's true. It's fully true.
But it's weird when you're on the team and you're like, what? No. But you have to understand that those guys are out there. The toughest thing for me, especially with the internet, like you're saying, the internet's ruining your brain. That's kind of a pessimistic view, but it's definitely not untrue. Like but you can use the internet another way. Or sorry, like you choose to use the internet in whatever way you choose. But like to get all the information on social issues that are going on, I can't see them in my line of sight, living in small town fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
But you have to understand what's going on. Like Bill C-16, I didn't see that anywhere. I'm not on college campuses or even if, like the campus here might not be that way. But across country, legislature is going to be passed based on what's going on in these places.
That was for gender kinship.
Like compelled speech, but yeah. But
So,
I don't see that day to day. I really don't see racism day to day. I don't see women like being put subservient or as second-class citizens every day. But I have to understand what's going on.
Right.
So you have to take people's word for it on certain parts of handling all those issues.
I love it. Graham K has a great joke, which I'm gonna butcher, but he does it where like he's like about how ghosts. It's like if ghosts were real, like we would have seen them. Because people have been talking about ghosts forever, just like people were talking about the cops killing unarmed black men. Like we heard about it, we're like, yeah, it might be true, and then we got cell phones. It's like, yeah, it's definitely true. How have you not caught a ghost on one of your cell phone videos when every day there's a cell phone video of a cop killing an unarmed black man? Like, no, I definitely believe in that now. Before I was like, yeah, they talk about it a lot, but I haven't seen it.
Anything that has been seen is just fake. At this point, because everything's been proven that it's like Bigfoot even.
But that's also it's now you can't. It's like you have to be afraid of being ignorant, so you just have to stay ignorant. Like it's like you got to be careful to talk about any issue because if you're on the wrong side of it, at least in like Vancouver where I live, it's just like, oh, you're a fucking racist, homophobic piece of shit. I'm just confused. I'm just trying to ask some questions. Can we have this conversation? Am I supposed to write off every dude now that's acting like a creep towards women? Because if we're doing that, then I got to write myself off. I'm not a creep anymore. We got to write every person off that's homophobic. I used to call people fags and fucking throw rocks at the one gay kid in my school, and now all my friends are gay. Like literally, most of my friends I hang out with are gay. My girlfriend's a hairdresser, and the people that hang out in my apartment are usually like my buddy John, he's gay, and Kimiko, she's a lesbian, and one of my groomsmen is a lesbian. Like in my wedding, I'm getting married. One of my groomsmen is a lesbian. One of her bridesmaids is a dude, and if they saw me, if I was on Facebook, if the 18-year-old me was on Facebook right now, they would not be coming to the wedding.
Well, that's a good point because most of those arguments aren't to incite change; they're to fight. So when they get into those talking points, they're not actually trying to educate you or even assuming that you could change. That's not the point.
That's the thing now.
Of what they're doing.
People are going, instead of just being like, people can change and have different views.
They're looking for an enemy.
Well, that's why I try not to judge anyone too much based on their views. Like you hear someone's opinion on something, and you're like, oh, like that's way off. But then I remember what I used to think, like things I used to think or things I used to live my life by. And you're like, Jesus Christ, like was I way off? And then like, I don't know, I just figure it's like evolution as a human. Like you just evolve.
It's supposed to be there. You're not really supposed to like yourself 5 years ago, in a sense. Like you're supposed to look back at it going, ooh, Jesus, maybe I shouldn't have pretended to know like what I was talking about there, or just.
Well, even like I was raised in a household where like it was real, like, you know, dad did the work, mom did the cooking type of thing.
Right.
Like that, and then that was how I expected my first relationship to be. And it was just like, you know, I'm gonna go to work, pay the bills, and you just make sure there's food in the fridge and all that shit, and I want dinner every day when I get home. And then you start realizing, like, no, like, women...
This isn't Archie Bunker.
Yeah, like, you know, she's gonna get a career too. She went to school, read some books, you know? No.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of set up for dual income these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody can live.
You got to ball. You got to have a pretty ball on
Yeah,
just out of the one income.
that's why they're joking. Like Vancouver, the rent's so high.
Yeah.
Just like your second date, you're like, well, you seem okay. Let's move in together.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't try to kill me on the first date, so we'll just move in and
Yeah.
we'll at least date for a year. Like I feel like everyone's just like year by year relationships.
Yeah, sign a year contract.
Yeah.
Try it out.
You go, it's 1 year, and then after that, it's one. You live by month to month.
Yeah. It's like a cell phone plan.
Yeah.
Starts
At
off
least with an option.
Yeah, at least with the option. That's every relationship now.
we go back to cops. I thought a funny thing the other day, like, because I know I work in heavy industry, and even the cutbacks that have happened since I started, like through the companies, because I think we're just getting, like, everywhere it's like pinching pennies more and more. Like the biggest sign for me first was McDonald's. Like they used to just give you handfuls of ketchup. You didn't even ask for them. They would just rifle 10 in your bag, you know, and McChicken sauce was free and shit. Now you don't get ketchup unless you ask.
Yeah.
And that's like somebody upstairs was like, hey, look, if we quit giving away so much ketchup, we can save this much money a year.
There's that famous, I forget what it is, that airline story where the person basically just said if we put like 2 less almonds in every one of these salads or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it is, but it was like they
Yeah.
saved like $15 million a year just
really?
by putting 2 less or whatever.
The other
Yeah,
one I
I
heard
heard
is
actually-
they took a pickle out of the Big Mac and then they saved $3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, things like that. And then I think of, like, here I am complaining about cutbacks. Like, you know, like, oh, don't get fucking free lunch anymore if I work overtime or whatever. And then, like, think of what the benefits of cops have had cutbacks. Like that old guy, like their biggest perk was you used to be able to speed through red lights, drive like a jackass, do whatever you wanted. Like you were the law, and no one could tell you what to do. But now, citizens have cell phones all the time, and everything's caught. Like you're probably just ringing up this 50-year-old vet every time. Like, listen, Greg, we can't just beat the blacks anymore, okay? What? That was my favorite part of the job. Like, no, you can't do it. And he's like, fuck, come on, you're one of the old guys. You know what it was like. These new fucking yuppies in here.
That's a weird version of No Country for Old Men. Totally different.
Oh yeah.
But
Because there's a guy, Jake Hirsch. He's an agent, comedy agent, and he lives in Edmonton, or no, in Calgary. And he used to be LAPD. He said, hey, fucking, after 1 year, he was LAPD. He was like, it wasn't the criminals that made me quit the job.
Oh, really?
He's like, I couldn't work with these people anymore.
Yeah.
I can't remember the story. I couldn't even say it out loud what he said, but it was just.
Yeah, well, did you see that video a while ago where that guy, like, gets caught planting drugs? He, like, he thought his chest camera was off.
Oh.
So then he takes a bag of drugs and
No,
goes...
he didn't even realize how the fuck they work. Like,
because they record 30 seconds before. Is when
I think
it
it's
was.
like 2 minutes or something like that. Because if you get in a scramble
Yeah.
and the guy grabs you, like it just constantly saves 2 minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can turn it on as soon as you get 2.
Yeah.
And then it'll have 2 minutes before that. And then
Yeah. I was getting there.
they're just fucked.
But, yeah, he didn't, like, he had no idea. He thought this thing, like, it was off, and he thought it was off. So he takes it, and he goes and he takes a bag of drugs, drops it, hides it, walks back, then he turns it on. But, like Singer just said, like, it's recording 2 minutes prior.
Oh,
He
you were
didn't-
getting there. Silly.
Yeah, that he didn't know about. So then when he turns it on, then he walks back over and he pretends to kick some shit, and then he moves like a...
Just a piss poor acting.
Moves something, yeah, and then ends up getting fucking... Hey!
I've been listening to
Look what I found.
Wrongful Conviction with Jason Flom. It's like this podcast, and he just interviews exonerees.
Yeah.
And the fucking like the American, it's insane. Like in New Orleans, in what's the name of the prison? In Louisiana, they got this one prison, They make them. They pay them 5 cents an hour, and they are forced to pick cotton in the sun.
Really?
Like it's
In
literally in Louisiana.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Angola is the name of the prison. It's considered one of the worst prisons in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They have the highest imprisonment rate of anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like already 1 in 5 people in prison in the world or in the United States of America, but nowhere per capita imprisons people more than this area in Louisiana.
Yeah. Is that due to privatization, you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And no place has more wrongful convictions.
Yeah.
People like teenagers that didn't murder someone just fucking confessing to murder because the cops just basically just break their brains down for like 2 days until they're just like, so like basically you just sign this piece of paper and you're gonna get to go home, and they're just like, hey, yeah, whatever, and they sign the paper, and then 20 years later they're being fucking put in solitary confinement because they're not picking cotton fast enough.
Yeah.
And then they're going, fuck, we got DNA evidence. The guy wasn't even anywhere near the murder. This other guy, who was a suspect, also murdered 7 people since that day. And it's just all the time. You're just listening to it going, this is so fucked.
Yeah, man. That, what was that? Making a Murderer, right?
Yeah.
That show really shined a light on.
That was a little different because the jury was still kind of out on it, but
There's so many.
like these
stories.
actual wrongful convictions are wild because it is the biggest argument against capital punishment.
Yeah.
It's that like, you're gonna put innocent people to death. You know?
There's episodes with the people who were like, yeah, they were gonna die in like a year. They were
DNA exoneration is wild.
And the only way they can exonerate you is the only way like the Innocence Project will get on board is with DNA. They're like, we just have so many people that are wrongfully convicted in the United States of America. It's thousands that they know for sure. There's like, we can tell you a couple thousand people right now.
Yeah.
We know without a doubt are in prison for a crime they didn't commit. We just gotta take them through the legal system.
Yeah.
And this idea, and a lot of people think that they get money. Like, they don't get money. A lot of them just spend 20 years in jail and they get out. They have no skills and they don't get any money, and they have to sign a plea agreement basically saying
Prison labor is a huge issue.
It's insane.
Hillary Clinton just put out a book.
What was I
And
watching?
in the book, she basically admitted as the first lady of Arkansas that they had low-risk prisoners as servants in the house. And she just said she did it because that was the custom. And she didn't want to ruffle feathers. And everyone's like, oh, so you had slaves. And she just like, why don't you just write that down? She basically said that. But she tried to dance around it. And then the way that the media's been polarized, they didn't even bother vilifying her over it. Like, she's a dead horse. They're not going to kick it again.
Yeah.
So like, I guess she was just using slaves too. Like,
Yeah.
she's out of the picture at this point.
Yeah, she's like, we don't need to. We already got rid of her.
Yeah.
I watched a show last night. I fell asleep to it. It was called The Other Life on Netflix. You seen that?
No.
And it was like, it's just some sci-fi shit, but they're talking. Their idea was to use. They have this drug you take. It's like an eye dabber. You put it in, and then what it does is like, 1 minute of real time. You could live a year of in this thing. So you would like dab it, and you would go into whatever they called it, like chemical engineering. Instead, it wasn't a drug, but then you would just lay on bed for a minute. And you would have like a year's life experience. Almost sounds like DMT type thing or something. But then what they started, the company wanted to use it was for imprisonment. So that you could take someone who committed a crime, you could put them in a jail for, a life sentence,
But not in
and
their whole life.
it would only take, an hour of their life.
Right.
And then they would come back out rehabilitated, they figured.
That's odd because I read a real article about that.
Really?
So they made a whole show around it.
Yeah.
Genius.
The other show, what was that show I was just talking about the other day? I once saw it in theaters where they killing themselves. Flatliners. I think that's something we really got to try to do, man.
What is it?
What do you mean we?
Like as a society of humans.
Oh.
Not me and you. I don't think we're pulling it off, buddy.
Well, how close do you want to get to this?
So Flatliners, it's in theaters. I once saw it the other week, but it's a group of like students at MIT or something. They kill themselves, and then they bring themselves back, and they're documenting. Like they got like a CT scan or like a EEG for their brain going on, just to measure any activity they got going on up there when they die. But so basically, they're killing themselves, and then they're like, give me a 1 minute, and then like bring me back, because they I guess the idea happened is they had so many people die in the operating room and flatline, and then they're able to bring them back and get their heart started again. So the idea behind it was that they were trying to figure out what kind of happens in the afterlife. So they're like, do this, give me a defib, it'll stop my heart, count 1 minute, and then start it again. I think we should be able to do that, right?
I don't think I would do it.
I'm not trusting anybody.
Yeah, we just have to find the right guinea pigs. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you need to get people to volunteer for that.
But then you can actually figure out.
In history, some of the craziest experiments were not from volunteers.
I was
They're just
thinking-
people who were fucking placed in the position.
But I was thinking that's something that could really answer those questions, right?
Yeah,
but
right.
then there's got to be people who just died and come back, and well, I guess we could just ask them, right?
Do you see I read the John Ronson book on the psychopath test, and they used to, in the 60s and 70s when they were testing acid on everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and then they made it illegal to do that in the States. So it was actually in New Westminster where they were running these tests, and I forget where the other place they did it, but they took all these sociopaths, these murderers, and they started giving them acid and doing it all the time. And the beginning, the people would show no empathy. They would not care. A guy could get his arm chopped off right next to him, and they just look at it and be like, "That's weird." They're sociopaths. They have no empathy to anything. You can just shoot a fucking kitten right in front of the head, right in front of them. They're like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
And they watched them as more acid they gave them over time. They started caring about each other, and someone stubbed their toe and "Hey, are you okay?" And they started caring, and they got them so rehabilitated that they actually cured them, and then they released them. And within one day, those people all went and killed people.
Oh no!
And then they go, "Oh no, we didn't feel it. We just found out. The acid just made us smart enough to figure out that this is what they want us to do."
Oh,
I don't feel any. They had no empathy for anyone, but they're like, if we start acting like they have empathy, they're gonna think we're cured. And all these psychologists and physicians, we've done a miracle. We've cured psychopaths, and then. The one guy, as soon as he got out, he just went and strangled someone and murdered them.
Well, it's weird that what drives them to want to do that. Not having any empathy. That's one thing, but then
because that is the excitement. That is the only thing that constitutes a feeling. Is that
feeling of
rush,
God.
That rush, whatever that rush is, something else takes place.
What goes on in your brain when you kill something?
Well, they talk about too, the sociopaths, people who just have no they make up such a huger population of billionaires than just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can. I think you could smash a 6-year-old kid in the head with a brick in front of Donald Trump, and he would have to pretend like it cared.
Yeah.
I don't think that guy has any.
Well, I think that's how those guys get to those spots. Right?
Yeah.
So Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, them, you hear they were just fucking ass.
Well, that's why the child sex rings are so plausible.
Oh, don't. Oh man, that's so funny how people just
I mean, this is the thing you hear about, but just being that low level of any empathy at all, you could easily walk up the capitalism ladder, no problem. It's not that hard to do because all you got to do is be willing to lie. That whole insider trader honor system. Just don't do it. Don't talk about that information before it affects the market in the morning.
Yeah.
Of course, sociopaths, reptiles are going to climb right up that bitch.
Man, I don't get that because they say reptiles don't care for their young. They say because apparently the reptiles are missing the prefrontal cortex, so they don't have the ability to care for their young. That's why a lizard will eat its own kids is where a mother bear will fight to the death against a larger grizzly male to protect her cubs. But then I was watching Planet Earth the other day, and they had a lizard down there, and he was clearly protecting all his eggs. But is that just instinct, maybe?
I don't know that you can get here without that.
There were a bunch of eggs and wasps were coming in to eat them, and then he would stand there and whack them, and whack the wasps off.
Yeah, I think if he wasn't programmed to do something to pass on his genetic line, they would have been wiped out.
Right, so it's not as much that he's actually caring for his young. He's this is just the computer program.
I think they're just trying to say that they can't care for anything in the way that you and I think about caring.
Right. Well, it's all reptiles. Any mammal they say can't.
But if you have empathy, it's pretty tough to get in a place where you don't feel any whatsoever. The only place that really gets you there is rage. But that means you're blind. It's not that you're not going to feel the regret and everything afterwards.
Right. Yeah, you're acting on anger.
Yeah, it's just made to do different, certain protection mechanisms where you just have to kill somebody. Boom. That system switches on. You have it there. It's what Carl Jung was his name. He was an old philosopher. And he said you had to integrate your shadow self. So like that part of you, you need it because of...
That's how I drive back in our bike. Every time we get beaten up.
I don't know if they hear that on this.
It's just for survival. Like, you
Yeah,
have to
well,
have-
also to not be a pushover. Like, you need to understand your evil. He says it's much more impressive at all points for someone to control their dark than it is to shine their light. It's a totally different thing. And if someone's not in control of their dark, it doesn't matter how much light they're shining. Like, there's just this monster self to everybody, and you have to understand it and integrate it. And it helps you be, in a social sense, not be a pushover and understand that you need to fight for what's yours within certain rights, but then doesn't become this thing that totally dominates the game either. So you have to be control and integrate your shadow self, is what he said.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it.
It's part of it, definitely.
Because, yeah, you're just watching how those guys can just... I don't understand having more than $1 billion.
Right.
Like, I don't understand how you could have $1 billion and you'd be like, I need fucking two.
It's the Gordon Gekko thing, right? The guy asked him at the end of Wall Street, when's it going to be enough? And he goes, it's not enough. Like, it's the game.
Yeah.
It's not the money
But
dollar.
it's
That's
also-
just scoring the game.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, why would an NFL or an NHL player with a 6-year guaranteed contract, why would they go out and put themselves in a position where they could get hit from behind?
Right.
Athletes are revered because they have love for what they do.
Yeah,
Or so we think.
But yeah, because I'm like this, because to me it'd be like, all right, I got the check, you're gonna pay me no matter what, and I just like just fucking diddling in the fucking other end of the ring, just fucking scratching my nuts until they're like, we're not gonna play you. I'm like, perfect.
Well, the NHL might not be the proper example because if you go over to the NFL, there's been plenty of guys drafted first overall, signed a big guaranteed contract, and they take like 12 snaps before the team's like, oh, you just can't play in the NFL.
Yeah,
And
but
they just take their money, $30 million.
no, but they don't get to keep the NFL.
Jamarcus Russell did.
You gotta play to get paid in the NFL. You get paid,
But
for
not
every-
with that signing bonus in a guarantee. Like, the
Yeah.
rookie contract, some guys have signed that because there was this hot prospect and the team wants to treat them right because they're going to be their franchise. And then they just, for whatever, like, who knows what they do off the field once they get all that money and then all of a sudden they can't play on the field.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just a mental thing they can't make the leap to the NFL. It's like you give a guy that much money and life because, why am I playing fucking football? I have $30 million now, no
$30
matter
million,
what.
and I gotta.
And this guy walks.
I got a scientist showing me that every time I play, that I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have the brain of a 90-year-old man when I'm 40.
Yeah, you can track it. Like, I'm down to 59 life expectancy at this point.
Yeah.
If I play another 2 seasons, be down to 57.
It's like that Ricky Williams thing when they're like, why would you quit football? Or he was like, when is it enough? What else do you need? He's like, O.J. Simpson can't bend his knees. Like he has to walk straight-legged and he can't actually bend his knees.
Yeah,
It's like
football's the craziest
It's
one.
a struggle for that guy.
They get the same kind of money in baseball and basketball and not the near the amount of damage.
Baseball, those guys just have it so goddamn good.
Yeah, man, those guys are doing
They're making so much money. They can walk the streets anonymously.
Retirement is the shit because your body's fine.
Yeah.
You might have blown out a shoulder,
And unless you're like,
couple bad legs.
unless you're A-Rod or something, like most of them can just like put on a baseball hat and walk around
Yeah.
and not get recognized. So you could like live in New York City and be a multi-millionaire and still just like, or not, or, because whenever you see them, they have a hat on. Like their faces aren't.
Not to mention in a city that big, people just stop looking.
Yeah.
Well,
At every
that's
little
what Doughty said about playing in LA, right? Like, Drew Doughty plays for the Kings. And
Yeah.
he's like, he said, yeah, it's great, man. He's like, no one knows who I am. And he's like, he just gets to walk around there freely. He's like, if I come up to Canada, like, we're playing Calgary or something. He's like, I can't walk down the street to go get Subway.
I can go meet my own coke dealers. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I ain't shook.
Man, that Yuri Hoodler story is hilarious, eh?
Where he's on the plane?
Yeah.
That's a little weird, yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Yuri Hoodler? He's like an ex-NHL player?
Yeah.
Well, definitely ex now. Eh? He was a free agent this year, and I guess on a plane, he demanded coke from a flight attendant. And then she's like, we don't have cocaine. And then I guess they said he like went to the bathroom and did a bunch, like finished his or something. Or he did his earlier and was out and then was asking her for coke and she didn't have any. So he got up and pissed in the food cart.
Awesome.
Yeah. Is that how
I heard a similar story about Judge Reinhold. Minus demanding the blow, like he was just on a bunch of coke.
Yeah.
And then like immediately apologized. Fuck, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to explain to you who Judge Reinhold is.
Yeah, I don't know who Judge Reinhold is either.
Well, he was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who
This guy?
gets caught jacking off. Yeah. Oh, that's his mugshot there, probably from the incident. He was the dad in Tim Allen's Santa Claus.
Oh man, people have been staring at Google this whole time.
Judge Reinhold was in Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, here's Judge Reinhold, people.
They can see that?
No one's watching it. They've been staring at Google the whole time.
Oh,
I haven't
nice.
had our video up.
Okay, well, give him a little stop on Google.
Yeah, here you go.
What's the other one there? Oh, all three Beverly Hills Cops.
Arrested at Judge Reinhold arrested at Dallas Airport.
Oh, yeah.
Security screening. Oh, he's like, you're not going to screen me. He's fine, just embarrassed. Like, you just get to have a complete lashing out. Like, you probably just paid a bit of money to whoever needs the money. Look at the Botox on Judge. But average people can't do that. Freak out at the airport, refuse screening, and then batter somebody. Like, you're fucking going away. Judge Reynolds got that pull.
Yeah, you're definitely not flying ever again.
Do you think if you're not a celebrity, you could at least go, well, can I at least pay the money a celebrity would pay to get out of this?
Yeah,
Like, I'll have to finance it?
I think money you can get out of anything.
Yeah.
Where was this thing? I'm trying to find it. So, a guy I went to high school with did like had a real episode.
Oh, that's right. Stole like a cart, went out on the tarmac kind of thing.
Well, apparently he just
On
like
drugs.
he sat himself down.
What
and,
kind of
like,
drugs that make you do that?
He sat himself down in like the first class, like just sat in one of those pods, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't be here." He's like, "No, I'm a pilot. I'm just catching a flight over to get to the next flight or whatever. I'm gonna fly on." They're like, "No, you
Catching the red eye.
yeah, you can't sit here."
Deadhead, Arizona.
Anyway, made a big scene, so they ended up like kicking him off the plane. And here's what I don't get: like, if you get booted off the plane, don't you think you have someone escorting you like through the airport, or at least out of there? Because then once he got off the plane, he ran into a service elevator with a lady pushing like a laundry cart or something, and got in the service elevator, took it down to the tarmac, took all his clothes off, ran out naked onto the tarmac, hijacked a luggage carrier.
Feeling good.
And said that he was a pilot and he had to get to the plane. So he's riding it across the tarmac trying to get to a plane taking off. And you're like, you're in your underwear. Like, it's like, I just pictured the only way you could pull that off would be that line from, what is it, Catch Me If You Can? It's like, an honest man has nothing to hide. So he's just like telling himself, no, I'm a pilot.
Yeah.
You can do this. No, you're totally normal. Not just a pilot, it's cool.
Yeah, I sometimes I get caught watching those bait car videos.
Oh, yeah.
Just watching the cameras on those. People just realize in the moment.
I was at McDonald's on 152nd in Surrey, and just something I was for some reason I went out and got an ice cream. Got an ice cream cone, and then went outside. I was going to eat this ice cream cone in the sun. I don't know why I decided that day, but I'm glad I did, because then I just heard like smashing, and it was a car in the intersection. It was just smashing the car in front of him, smashing the car behind it, smashing back and forth to get free. And then I just heard the sirens coming, and then it goes, there's a big burnout, and then it was obviously a bait car because they just locked it, so he couldn't turn, and he just drove straight. Floored it into a telephone pole, because I guess they know that if you crash the car hard enough, the doors have to open.
Oh, yeah.
Because like as a safety precaution. So like, what if the car catches fire? You don't need your fucking guy burning alive inside of a bait car.
Yeah.
So the guy just flew it into the fucking telephone pole, and like the four friends in the car all just like held their necks, but the one guy got out, and the cops were like, freeze, and the woman had a gun out on him, and he just looked at her, and he just started walking, and then he just ran. And then it was just like 6 cops running, and this one like guy who stole the car, they were running on foot after him, and he was way faster than all the cops.
Way faster.
He just like ran down. He made all. They got him at the end of the alley. I guess the cops like were there waiting for him at the other end. It was just so funny to watch like 6 cops just get outrun by a guy who was just in like a severe car accident. Like he like hit the car. Like all the other people were like messed up. He got out clearly hurt, and then he just ran, and none of them could catch him.
Yeah.
Talk about going all in.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, I
yeah,
think that to be a cop, you just have to pass the physical at the beginning, right?
yeah. I used to do a joke about that where it's just like, what other job can like after a year you just like can't meet the minimum requirements and you get to keep your job.
Yeah.
Like a cop, your only rule is like you can't have a criminal record and you have to pass the physical. But like there's tons of overweight cops that have criminal records.
Yeah.
It's just they got their criminal records after they got the badge. So it's like you can get caught drinking and driving and get a criminal record as a cop.
Yeah.
There's one cop in Vancouver, his first day, he fucking assaulted a disabled person.
Oh no.
The video of her on East Hastings, you can see her, she's got like MS.
Yeah.
And like whatever, she like, she walks like a slinky. It's like her body's like so fucked up. And the guy said he thought she was going for his gun.
Yeah.
Which like if she was going for it real slow.
Yeah.
And he like shoves her to the ground and then looks at her and then just keeps walking. And then like you see all like the other homeless people come help her up. It's like, and Mike used to do a joke like that guy didn't get like arrested for that. Or he got to keep his job, but he didn't get reviewed for it until a year later. So his first day, he assaulted a disabled person, and they waited a year to review that incident, which they had on film.
Yeah.
And
Do you think they just let enough? They just want enough time to pass, so like.
But he got to go. He got to go to work every day after that. Like, what if you review it and you go, "That's not acceptable"? Yeah, it was. I was like, you couldn't do that at Subway, like your first day on the job. Someone's like, I'll get a 6-inch spicy Italian. You just punch him in the nose. And the manager's just like, "Fool, a year from now, we're probably going to have to talk about this."
Slam their head off the toast.
Yeah. Whoa.
All right, we got on film. We'll talk about this later.
We went through the training.
Thought he was going for my spatula.
Yeah.
Now is not the time to talk about this. No, that's funny. That's like the Vegas thing. Like that's already come and gone, eh?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, they're not taking the guns.
No, but they didn't after Sandy Hook. So
I know.
I don't know how you're gonna. But I don't know. I was watching one of those bait car shows, and they basically just went up to the guy they just busted. Like the cops are sitting there, and they give him an opportunity to explain themselves. Probably because they know they're making a TV show.
Yeah.
And one dude, like right off the top, because they just approach him and they go, "Hey, what are you doing?" kind of thing. Did you steal this car or whatever? He goes, No. Like I'm walking with my girl, right? We're going right by this car. I hear it ticking. It's ticking. I go, oh, that car is gonna blow up. I'm with my girl. I'm trying to marry this girl. I know you can tell this is a short white, a Jewish guy. And he goes, I gotta steal this car. I gotta get away from these people. I gotta save these people. And the cops are just trying to like stare at him like, okay, keep going. And he just cooks up this whole story about how he was a hero. And they're like, okay, you're under arrest. Like, they just let him run it up.
Yeah.
But just seeing a guy trying to do that Ricky and Trailer Park Boys thing, like in real life.
Yeah.
It never flies, but he tried his best.
So here's the thing, and like you can tell by the pausing, they're really trying to think of what the next part of the story is.
Well, it was like it was super creepy listening to that. We had that murderer up here at Legend Boca, and he killed a bunch of people, and then they released he was like abducting women and then murdering them, and they released his statement. They're like the police recordings when they first got him, and hearing him trying to talk his way out of it because they found blood everywhere, and he tried to say, "Oh, like I shot a deer." And then they're like, "Okay, well, where's the deer?" He's like, "Well..."
Oh, that was a podcast. I listened to that podcast about that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Which podcast do you listen
Canadian True Crime, I think it's called.
That could have been on there for
to?
sure,
It
yeah.
definitely fits the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And he's like, trying to say it was a deer. And they're like, "Okay, well, where's the deer?" They're like, "Oh, I put it in my buddy's truck to, he's taking it into town to dump it." Because he's like, "Oh, it was like we poached it," is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's,
And they're
that's
like,
the same one.
They're like, "Well, why would you poach a deer and then load it in your truck and then load it in your buddy's truck and then to dump it? Like, if you were just gonna, why would you shoot it and leave it there?" And he's got nothing, right? She's like, "Well, no, we thought we had to move it further away from the road because they're easily gonna find it there." And then then he's just panicking, wanting to talk to his dad.
Yeah.
And it's super weird. He's like, "I just want to talk to my dad. Let me talk to my dad." And his dad's going to be able to get him out of this thing or something.
Yeah.
That's probably where the weird relationship was, though, about him being who he was.
Yeah.
Have some weird thing with your parents most of the time. Like, I'm hooked on a couple different true crime podcasts.
Yeah.
And if you're just listening to the highlight reel of Psychos, like, you'll just look everywhere for them.
Yeah.
You're not like really that bound to come across one. And if you do, you're not going to know it really.
Mm-hmm.
But
you
just get caught
you
up.
start
Yeah.
picking up the patterns and
Yeah.
you're going.
Yeah, like there's a couple kids I went to school with who for sure should have killed 5 people by now. Like just based like playing out that young childhood.
Yeah.
You go, oh, that kid was probably hurting animals, and then like, but you never know. Like that, there's a bunch of people stewing out there that are potential, like psychopaths. There's people who are potential everything. Like there's people who are pedophiles and they write in anonymously, like I know this is wrong and all this stuff, and then they're just out there.
Yeah, that's the weird thing with pedophiles is like people are so supportive of the victims of sexual abuse, especially as children, until they complete the cycle. It's like, oh, show me a pedophile that wasn't raped as a kid. Like
Right.
it's so hard to find one.
Yeah.
And you're like, I feel
What-
so
what-
bad,
yeah.
and it's like it's just something happens, and it's like it's a proven thing that you fucking molest a kid, their
Yeah.
brain changes, and they start.
Probably, well, not the problem, but one of the things you see is that there's people who absolutely could never. Like it goes the other way too.
Yeah, there's people that could just never.
You get buggered, and then like you would never even, you can't even get close to kids
Yeah,
because
you-
you're that like afraid
Right.
of the whole deal.
You can't even get close to
Well, that's
a
that.
person. Like you
Right,
can't, you
that
can't even
too,
kiss
yeah.
someone. Yeah.
That whole Gabor Mate, that book I was telling you about, the first like 11 chapters are just him, and it's him explaining like some of his client stories. And like his whole big thing is like everyone's a person, right? Like you're a person, and just because you like are a heroin addict or this or that, like doesn't mean you're a bad person. And then he like takes you through their walk of life. And like some of those people's stories, you're like, how is heroin like your only problem? Like it was like, you know, like there was a girl there, she was from Kelowna, and she was living with her mom or something, and then her mom ditched her to go to Vancouver, so that she was living with her grandma and grandpa, and the grandpa and her uncle were like sexually abusing her at the age of 8, and then when she turned 11 one time, she tried to stand up to them. But then they're like, look, if you put up any fight, we're just going to do it to your younger brother. And she's like, well, no, like I don't want my younger brother to have to go through this. So now she's got no out because of that. And then she got raped by like the auntie's boyfriend and knocked up, and then had a kid. And then they kicked her out of the house. And then she like went to go find her mom, and then found her mom. And then her mom immediately took all the money that she'd saved up, bought heroin with it, did it all, injected her with heroin, and then. What they do after? Oh yeah, then like she woke up in the middle of the night and some big dude was on top of her, and her mom had like sold her on the street.
I am so hard right now.
I have to do that shit all the time when I'm listening to what I'm listening to.
Yeah, it's just
To cut the tension.
Yeah, no, I'm like, okay, if this keeps going, I'm gonna have to say something because this is just getting. But yeah, and then that girl lives on the street, and people go, "Fucking loser, get a job."
Yeah.
You fucking sad sack. You fucking crackhead piece of shit. Like I'm like, I can't stand that kind of mentality people have to people like that. I'm like, there's any person like that has been through something you could never even imagine.
Yeah. Well, it's like that tweet. What is it? Like, let's not talk politics tonight. You know, no one changes their mind anyway. And 6 beers later, hey Dave, why the fuck do you hate poor people? Well, that always reminds me. What podcast was that where Bo Burnham does that? I think Bo Burnham tells the story of like Jim Jeffries.
Or did he do Mark Maron?
No, it might be Jim Jeffries. Anyway, someone tells a story and it's like super sad like that, and then Jim goes, "Well, thanks, the real uplifting story."
Yeah.
Oh, that was Paul Provence's Green Room. Bo Burnham's. Yeah, no, he's not. Is he on it? He's not on that one. But yeah, it's Paul Mooney telling a story about being Paul Mooney. He just gets a little too serious. And it's supposed to be a funny show, but Jim Jeffries is just superiorly funny to most people in that kind of setting.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is the accent. He's obviously really funny, but over in the West, if you bring an accent with you,
Yeah.
it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man, it's the same as the Norm Macdonald joke that he always does. I love when you just say some horrible thing.
Yeah.
The guy's a real jerk.
This guy's really
That's such a funny. I was like, I was like, my dick is just fucking rock hard right now. By the 5th person raping an underage girl, I'm just like, okay. You have to say something.
Yeah, the one where he's talking about how he's at the gym. He's like trying to be home. He's like, I don't want to be in the locker room seeing guys like shower and like he's getting real like against the male naked body.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta go to the gym and then I gotta see some guy's hot fucking asshole. Takes it into it.
I always wanted to try to write a joke about like men and women, like why we're not allowed to be in the same locker room. Because like I think if you ask any woman like why can't men and women get changed together, like naked, it would be a woman would say, well, it's because he's gonna see my naked body and then he might try and have sex with me, then not be able to control himself and be like, and I was like, well, what difference does it make if I'm getting changed now with a gay dude? Right? Like there's gay dudes in there, now they see me naked, they want to fuck me. And then I think where they would say that, hang on, stay with me, is that a woman would say, well, a man could overpower me. Right? It's like, you're a man, that's another man. And I'm like, well, have you ever seen a gay dude? They're all jacked. Like, if that guy wants to fuck me in the ass, he's going to fuck me in the ass. I'm not going to be able to stop that.
How dare you say they're all jacked? What a sweeping generalization of a minority. Of all things. No, you're right. I was just going to say that was a good point. Like, if the argument's only based around that, but it's not based around that. But then you get into the bathroom argument, like that third bathroom that they want to make.
Yeah. I got into like heated arguments about this with the guy in Calgary because he's like, it's like, well, what if? Because I do a joke about it where like, what if like a man could just dress up like a woman and go into a washroom and molest a little girl? Like it's like, well, you can go and molest a little boy in the washroom too. Yeah. It's like, and if we're concerned about kids, like why are kids allowed to get naked at the pool? While I have my dick out.
Yeah.
like people are mad about transgender washrooms and the children. Like, you can go to the pool right now and pull your dick out in front of a naked little boy and no one says shit. You can have a shower. You can share the showers with naked little boys with your dick out and no one gives a fuck about that. And now they're going, fucking transgender water. Like, you don't care about the kids.
Yeah.
And still, not a single case of a transgender person molesting a child, but you have thousands of cases of people beating fucking transgender people to fucking pulp in bathrooms.
Really?
Yeah. When
what's going on.
When a guy is just addressed, when a man identifies as a woman, is dressed as a female, there's thousands of cases
where the dude gets beat up.
Yeah, he goes
by women.
They tell him you're not allowed to go into the woman's washroom, so he has to go into the men's washroom. And there's a dude there, looks at him, and just beats the fuck out of him.
Oh no!
Well, you definitely can't have that.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
But I think you gotta start with people beating the shit out of transgender people, period.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. But that's the place where it's always happening, because they're not gonna just go and beat the shit out of you.
Weirdly private.
Because they're gonna be in the washroom and they're gonna look at you and their dick's gonna get hard because they're secretly fucking battling with their own sexuality. So then they have to just smash your head in with the fucking sink. Cause
real fear emotion.
I would never want to fuck you.
That is a specific type of person.
Well, that's like that. Have you guys seen Ozark?
Yeah.
Where like the gay dude, the one dude's gay, he's like, I'm not a faggot, and then he starts making out with that dude, and then as soon as that dude like kind of rejects him or something, then he just beats him up. He's like, fuck you, man. And like gets in a fight with him.
Oh, that's
because he's like, yeah.
Have you gotten any further than that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The show?
No, like in the show. Like after he does that.
Oh, I've seen the whole show.
Okay.
I've watched it all, yeah.
But then he comes back to the hotel.
Oh yeah.
Then they start doing gay stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like when they do Yeah.
But it's like big shows like that representing that character. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like in vogue, but also like pretty important.
Yeah, I think I've told the story about like the bathrooms on here before, but I had like a real issue with there's a bathroom in some bar down in Gastown. They have like a shared bathroom.
Yeah.
Like men and women. And I have had nothing but terrible luck in those things. Like the way this one was set up was a central room, and then there were two doors. But when you walked up to it, they had like men on the left, women on the right. So you would go around, and then the two doors would open up to just the general lobby where like the sinks were.
Yep.
Well, I walked through the men's door as a woman, came through the woman's door, and she looks at me and she goes, "You're in the woman's bathroom." And I, like, because both doors go to the same place. Yeah. And I'm going, no. I'm like, it's a shared bathroom. She's like, "Get out of the bathroom, you pervert!" And starts raising her voice and, like, panicking. So I'm like, holy fuck, what do I do? Like, I'm not about to get in a fight with this woman that it's a shared bathroom. So I just bailed out of the bathroom.
I love those washrooms.
And then had to wait a minute and then come back in.
Because I'm always like, that's how every bathroom should be. Those ones where it's just...
Yeah, just
all private stalls.
Yeah.
And then a shared room, and then
We all wash our hands in the same place with dump in the.
And then you go into an actual private because it's just then there's not a fucking. You're not waiting 45 minutes for your girlfriend to go to the bathroom.
Okay, well, let's start a huge controversy here. Should the urinal be done with?
No.
No, not the urinal. The urinal shouldn't, but depends on where.
Everything's a private stall with a toilet. Everybody can function in one of those.
That works, but when it comes like music festivals, when they have that urinal trough set up, that has saved my life so many times. It's
a place to stand and piss in an event
go,
like that would be a little different.
Where you can just go take a piss real quick and
guys
go
can go hang.
Is where like you look and there's like a lineup for the bathroom, like 40 people deep to get into a porta potty, and then the like piss one, it's so much quicker. Like even if there are 40 dudes, you're like
urinals come back at a certain capacity of people.
I think the only way you could abolish the urinal is if all men
sat down to pee.
Exactly. Otherwise,
it's too gross.
Otherwise, guys piss on the seat.
Right.
And it's just guys will always piss on the seat.
Oh, janitor's job's never been glorious.
I was waiting. I thought the funniest thing at Shambhala would have been because they had a lineup for just the urinal, and I felt really like that was where I saw sexism. And it's like, look at this advantage men have. Like these girls, they'll probably just have to take a piss. They gotta wait. I was just waiting for a chick to pull up with one of those Wheezies. Just go get in there, just strap it on, and just take a piss.
I've always been curious if
have just one hanging on there, so just use it.
I've always been curious if you put a trough for the women, I bet there'd be chicks that would use it. If you made it so women couldn't, people couldn't see them, you couldn't watch them go. If only women could go into an area and they just had like a trough, and there was chicks that had been waiting in line for so long they had to pee, and then they're like, you gotta wait another 15 minutes. There would be so many women that would just walk over, lift up their.
Just piss in the trough.
Find a way,
yeah.
What would be the style? Would you have like a foot support so you lift one leg up on the wall, or would you go with like a center lane and you'd like straddle it?
Center lane. They just drop their pants. I guarantee you, I've seen the most modest women when they have to pee just be like, pull over the car. I'm hanging my ass out on the highway and pissing right here, right now.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't have better options for women.
This is something we should be fighting about.
It's probably because they're fucking subspecies, but.
I love how. I forget what.
I want to get off the transgender bathroom thing, but there's so much.
Well, I love our social activism.
I want to get off to the transgender.
Well, I think it boiled down to why should I believe what you say about who you are? Like, why should it only be taking somebody's word for it? Mm-hmm. Like, if there's no biological essentialism, which I think will be the hot term of 2020 and on. You're a biological essentialist, James Kennedy. You believe in a female-male binary system. How dare you?
Yeah.
So minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you saying? Like, you should have to have a way...
No, just saying, like, I'm a man who feels like a woman. It's like, that's fine. But if you just want to say that that transition shouldn't matter. A man wants to be a woman, a woman wants to be a man. But it's like all these other genders that they're kind of just making up.
Well, there's people
even transgender kind of commits to the binary system of, it's just a man who wants to be a woman. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. But this foxkin or these things where people are just saying, I feel this way, so fucking fit me in.
Yeah, I think I'm a panda.
And pander to me, or legislature should fucking facilitate me and my 6 other people who feel like foxes.
Right. Well, the thing about saying how you feel, I had a couple things on that. One is I think a lot of that is just put on by society, right? Like where we're taught blue is a boy color, pink is a girl color, and it's maybe you're not a chick, you're just a dude who likes the color pink, man. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean you're a girl. Or if you like playing with Barbie dolls, it doesn't mean you're a girl.
Right.
You're just a dude who likes playing with Barbie dolls. You don't have to play with the fire truck.
Yeah.
But I think because of that now, if you're a kid and you want to play with a Barbie doll, you're probably like, oh man, I think I was meant to be a chick. It's well, no, it's okay to be a dude and to like playing with Barbie dolls, man.
Well, that's where we just need to get rid of gender norms. I think we need to get rid of that. I think it's the biggest problem has always been, hey, if you're a boy and you fall down and you can't hit that baseball, get back up there and keep swinging. And if you're a girl, it's maybe you're not good at baseball. You should try something else. Right. Women are always told to just do something that you're naturally good at.
Yeah.
And guys are told just fucking you're gonna suck at it and you gotta fucking suck it up and tough it out.
Yeah.
And then you see the characters that it's never, now you're just seeing it, but Disney forever has never been a woman could kick ass.
Yeah, you have to be mindful.
So they got Moana.
Yeah, now it's getting to the point where it's almost being too much.
Yeah, you going on swinging the
It's gonna get to a point where there's gonna be like girls like, but am I allowed to feel girly? You know, I don't know if it'll get to that. But.
Yeah. Well, I laugh at our social activism too, because when I look back at it, like you look like Martin Luther King was fighting for like race equality and like a better distribution of wealth, and then there was like a big women's right movement where they wanted to like vote and be treated as equals, and then you look at us and we're fighting for like transgendered bathrooms.
Well,
like,
I don't know who's fighting for it. I just think it's a social issue. But there are people like
and then like our activism
sure.
about, and then we're fighting about like what gender pronoun to use and shit like that. I think there's way bigger things we should be putting our efforts into, man.
I think
for sure, but we're doing all the other things too. It's huge, like you're saying, women's rights right now.
The biggest women's march in history just happened last year, and it was for women's rights.
Right.
It was
and some men are getting roasted, and that'll change the culture, like you're saying, social norms. Just, you got to be mindful of those things. But it's, again, one of those things, like, even if you don't participate in it, or even if you don't see it everywhere, you got to be aware that it's having an effect on your society.
Yeah, and it's also, I think people are just letting the internet tell them what's happening in the world that's right around them. Like, I know so many people that, like, talk about the transgender bathroom. I'm like, have you ever met a transgender person? Mm-hmm. Have you ever even had a conversation with one? When in your life have you ever even encountered these people that are, I'd say they identify as this, or is that just a thing you read on the internet? Where, like, maybe, yes, it is true, but if there's...
They're super rare, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no one's... I'm like, no one's... I'm not...
I've never met someone who said they were a fox.
No,
I've heard that. I've heard that a bunch.
Yeah, you see that. You see, it's I think people bring it up all the time, but I'm like, when is this? So if they want to add another thing to Facebook that says you can identify as, I'm like,
go on.
Who's gonna do it? Like,
yeah, you're allowed to have those options, but it's only when if you don't look at it like a religion, but in the same sense of separation of church and state. Like, you're free to do all that stuff, but once, like, you have to start facilitating it in your own legislature, then this huge discussion bubbles up about what's going on here.
Why is there a bunch of
like the transgender thing.
Yeah, politicians sitting and spending all this time to talk about.
Right.
Well, also what Jordan Peterson said is, like, he doesn't hate transgender people, and it's not really a transgender bathroom thing as much as in the compelled pronoun thing.
Right.
Like, this is compelled speech, and philosophically, there's no argument for that. You can't have that in a society where there's free speech.
Well, yeah, no. What are you gonna do next? Not teach Spanish?
Right.
We're gonna have no gender pronouns. So what are we gonna do in Spanish class?
I guess so. Hey.
Yeah.
Like, or just
we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop teaching French in school because
I guess you wouldn't be able to call them female male. You would have to come up with completely different monikers and not associate them with that.
Actually, I think I might have just thought of a joke. I think I might have I want to go back to high school and take Spanish class now because it'd be so much easier to learn without gender pronouns.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like, oh, finally, I just pronounce everything with an O or an A. It doesn't matter, okay?
Yeah. However you want, you know. Yeah. Oh, I had something. I don't remember what it was.
Well, he's going into compelled speech.
Probably
He says there's a neo-Marxist postmodernist is what he calls them. I don't really know what that is, but postmodernism as a philosophical idea is using the transgender rights thing as a front to move in the meta factor of compelled speech. Once you set a precedent that compelled speech is in your legislature, then it's just a slippery slope, and that feeds this postmodernist ideologue. And he's saying we have to spot that here. And the thing is, it's just they're using the transgender people. So now he's just being called a transphobe and a xenophobe and all this stuff.
Yeah, but once they get that in there, then they can start moving into other compelled speech, like shit they actually want to get through. Yeah.
And if you label somebody a xenophobe or a transphobe these days, it's in vogue. So that guy just becomes this horrible person.
Yeah.
Without people even listening to him.
Yeah.
Oh, he just has this idea against transgender people. So fuck him. He's in this box.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks.
That's
identity politics, man. It's everywhere.
Shit, I don't remember. I'm just gonna bring something up.
It is like, 'cause even in comedy, like you do shows where the comedians like, when I host, I don't use and it's to me when they start calling person they. It just sounds like you're talking about a group.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like confusing. Like the next act, they are
Yeah.
originally
They're-
from
they're-
Vancouver. Now they live here, and then he
Right.
just walks up and it's one person, and I'm like, well, that was really
Oh yeah.
fucking like. Now it's just a distraction for me, and the rule of comedy is to not provide unnecessary distraction.
Yeah.
Like you
That's
don't
a collective pronoun, jackass.
Yeah, you-
I'm not a. Who's the guy with the dummy? Otto and George.
Yeah.
I'm not a duo.
Well, we can probably almost make it like get it to the point where it's like a dog. Like when you ask someone about their dog, you ask, and is it a boy or a girl? Are we gonna go get to that point with people?
Male or
You
female.
just ask, what are you, male, female?
Brett Forte, a comic in Calgary, he does a thing about it. It was like when there's like a person, like a super liberal person, trying to describe to the police officer what the person attacked him looked like. Was it a man or a woman? I don't want to make any assumptions. Like, well, no, we need a description of the person that hurt you.
Yeah.
Well,
That is a good way to highlight the ridiculousness of it.
yeah, it's like what would their skin tone look like? I don't see color. So. Well, no, we need a way to look for the person.
Yeah.
They might go hurt someone else.
I don't know if they would do that.
Yeah, I don't want to. Hey, people change.
I'm not gonna label this guy off as a horrible person right away, you know. Well, that's funny. Well, should we wrap it up or not? You guys want to keep going?
Yeah. If you think gender is a social construct, please contact us. We'd like to talk about it.
That's it? No. Yeah, do you want to beatbox our way out of here? You got the capacity to
Yeah,
do it?
did I beatbox the last time we did this? Is that
You
right?
did,
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
No, you didn't. You didn't because I was trying to get you to beatbox, but then it was like
You don't have to do
you
that.
thought I was trying to make you do your bit.
No, what do you want me to beatbox?
Oh, you had a beatbox bit, I remember.
Yeah.
Something funny you did on stage the time you were here.
Yeah.
That's what you were referencing, yeah.
I don't know.
Just making noise. How do you do it? I don't know how people. They had a whole guy at Shambhala, like that's all he did.
Yeah, his name's Emotions.
Yeah.
His real name's Dave. He's my neighbor.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
They're
Dave.
like, this motherfucker's got the deepest bass in this place. Give it to him.
Yeah, Dave.
And he's like,
Dave's insanely good. Yeah, he books a bunch of things for Sean. Yeah, he literally my apartment's right next to his. Yeah, I just smoke joints with him all the time. He's like insanely good.
You guys ever beatbox battle?
Show
No.
no emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's
he's
pretty
like
cool.
really good. I can just do it like whatever. It's through the side of your mouth. I know when people try to make the kick drum with a
Yeah.
but like those three sounds.
Yeah. It's really good.
What's yeah? I don't know.
That's super
Mic
cool.
technique.
That almost seems more effective to get like making those noises.
I just bought an electronic drum kit. That's bang on.
Yeah.
I got that preset.
That's that snare.
Yeah.
It's either that snare or it's like the clap.
Oh man, we should have just got you to do that. I'll probably just steal that and I'll make that our intro. We can just stick that in.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Right on, man. Yeah, thank you.
James Kennedy.
Yeah.
Google him.
Go watch the show tonight, NCOs. It's actually sold out, so good luck.
Yeah. If you're ever in Vancouver, come and watch Full Pint Comedy at Granville Island Brewery every Tuesday.